Hey guys, I'm Patrick. Let me introduce myself shortly for the ones who don't know me. I'm 34 years old. I'm living in Cyprus. I'm a digital entrepreneur. I've been in the IT consulting business with focus on SAP and Microsoft consulting in the last 15 years, different kinds of forms and roles as a consultant, as an entrepreneur, as a freelancer, as a coach. The last roughly 8 years, I've been doing my own businesses with the focus on SAP and Microsoft. Worked with small and medium-sized companies, with big international companies or corporations, and had the pleasure of experiences myself in various years how it is to become an entrepreneur, what it means to be an entrepreneur, especially focused on a digital organization, building and scaling and leading a digital organization. Right now, I'm focusing on my consulting and coaching business, which you can see here a little bit in the background. I'm helping corporations or also entrepreneurs to set up a business, to scale a business, really depending on the needs and the obviously the target audience. But today, I actually want to talk about common mistakes that I found is very, very common when you found or start a business. So let me deep dive on my experience I've made in the last couple of years being an entrepreneur, working with other entrepreneurs from big to small organizations, and let me share those thoughts. And I really hope you can benefit from that. By the way, a little teaser. Right now, I'm building an online coaching program which is specialized in showing, let's say, career-driven people starting their own business, making it operatively possible. So make it run, digitize it, automate it, and as well as scale it, build a team, combining it with a, let's say, positive entrepreneur mindset kind of. But I'll talk about that in the next couple of videos as well. Right now, let's deep dive in common mistakes when you are the person who really wants to start a business and you have always wondered yourself, um, what can go wrong, what mistakes I can do. I'm a big fan of not repeating the same mistakes again and again because there's been already millions of people who started a business. So it's obviously very wise to share the experiences we've made. So being afraid to fail is one of the biggest and most common mistakes when starting a business. Obviously, the fear of starting something new is human, and I've been there myself. And um, truth being told, every time you start something new, there is, let's say, not the feeling of fear, but there is curiosity. At the beginning, when you're unexperienced, it's obviously more a feeling about fear, which will turn into experience and therefore motivation at the end. So let me tell you, if you are afraid of starting, there's nothing going to happen. You are not a surgeon and operating or doing surgery on an open heart. This is a business. You're not going to die. Nobody's going to die. Don't be afraid. And there's always a fallback scenario. And just believe in yourself, and anyway, everything will go in the right direction. Not making a business plan is number two. And not making a business plan is a common mistake when starting a business. And I don't mean that you need to do a, let's say, a big four like business plan, how you were taught maybe when you went to school or university, that needs to be like 50 pages. That's unrealistic. You will not be able to forecast and project all these kind of things. But you definitely need to make a business plan, a basic business plan containing of a market and competitor research, unique selling point, your USP, financial plan or financial projection, not for banks but for yourself. Very simple. All these kind of things, they're necessary because bringing that to paper. Also, your mission and vision, your goal with your business, the executive summary. Obviously, bringing that to a piece of paper, just a couple of pages, really brings it to the point. It really makes yourself focus on what you want to achieve. Therefore, it's a very, very important step, especially when it comes to your finances. You need to have that in order. Um, Organization, being disorganized is probably a trait that does not fit too good to an entrepreneur. You will have to watch over a million things. You have to do your day-to-day business, your operative business. If it's a product or a service business, you gotta you gotta check your accounting, your finances, your marketing, your sales. You've got to build up all these processes. You got to watch out departments. You got to build teams. You got to build a management team, depending on how big and your business is, and all these kinds of things will make you jump from one fire to a next one. So being organized is very, very important, and in that sense also, being able to focus is probably one of the biggest currencies right now out there. Being able to focus on one or two tasks during a day will be the puzzle for success. You will literally be busy 24/7 with a business. And if I mean 24/7, I really mean 24/7. You can jump from A to B to C. You will need to learn to focus on important tasks. Obviously, it's important to identify the most important task, but even more important is to be able to focus. You are 24/7 online. Um, Focus time will be key. Not defining your market and target audience goes hand in hand with the business plan. You need to define what your market and target audience is. Otherwise, your product or service will not reach the target. If you don't know whom you're talking to with your in regards to your product or service, you will not be able to actually speak to them. Makes sense, right? Not filling for the proper legal structure from your company, so the corporation legal structure around your company. I've been there myself. We had different kind of corporations and different kind of companies, and at the end, building maybe at the final stage or holding over it in a different kind of country may be very demanding because you have running business, operative business, moving revenue streams from A to B to C, maybe to move also taxation from A to B to C, can be very challenging, especially when your business is growing. So my advice here: be very clear, and then again, what do you want to achieve? This is very, very important already at the beginning of the journey. And in that regard, how your cooperative or how your legal structure should look like will help you set the way, pave the way for the future, makes it a lot easier. And yeah, it's always wise to get some external help here, get a partner, get a mentor, speak to an entrepreneur. You can ask me, of course. I'll try to help. Um, Another common mistake is trying to do everything by yourself. That will not work. At some point, your resources will be empty, and I mean time and energy. At the beginning, when starting a business, you will do more or less everything at the whole time. But if you want to have an operating business, a working business, which is also partially running when you're sick or out of office, you will not be able to do everything by yourself. So you will need to build it. It can be a small team, but you will have to outsource certain tasks or even departments, really depending on where you want to go. But truth being told, you will not be able to do everything by yourself because consequently, you will not be able to focus. Partnering with the wrong partners or investors, yeah, that can be a tricky one because how do you know at the beginning if a business partner, an investor, or even a customer is the right fit to you? Experience will tell you. It's it's a common mistake, obviously, if you think that an investor or a partner will pave the way to a successful business. That can go right in the right direction for a couple of years, maybe weeks, months, years. But here, in my experience, the gut feeling tells you if a person or a company in the form of a partner, an investor, a customer, or whatever, a colleague, an employee, is the right fit to you. Never forget you're gonna work with those people, maybe a very long time, so there must be some chemistry, and your gut feeling will most likely not prove you wrong. Oh, avoiding contracts is another one of those common mistakes. What do I mean with that? Avoiding contracts mean you're not setting up correct, legally correct contracts at the beginning of your business. Why is that so important? You will need to have contracts when you run a business. You will have labor contracts for your employees. You will have product contracts, project contracts, support contracts, all kind of contracts. And we are in an era where every word is basically digitally transparent. Therefore, your contractual structure needs to be on point. Here, don't avoid good and professional contracts at the beginning of the business. Do it right at the beginning, and you just start with a small amount, but have that in place because once you grow and once you really operate, you don't want to deal with those kind of things. You know? Hiring too soon is one of those mistakes that I've definitely been experienced in my past many times, to be honest. Hiring too soon means that you think you are ready to outsource, let's say not outsource, but to delegate a certain kind of task to certain team members or to a team. And why is that a problem? Let me explain. Hiring too soon, your business might not be in that state that you can actually delegate a lot of things. Maybe you're financially not equipped to actually hire people. People equals costs, depending on where you are, can be higher or lower. And a lot of people, when starting a business, strive towards hiring. You need to know then hiring people is a big responsibility. You are employing them, you are giving them work, you are responsible for paying them, for paying social securities, their taxes, families behind that. Once you are in that spot, you start realizing what responsibility that actually means. So, my advice here, be very careful of what you want to do. Do you want to run your own business with yourself a small, very agile team? Maybe you have a product business, you don't need to hire a lot of people. It's fine for you. Maybe you have a service business, you maybe go into consulting or legal advice or whatever, and you need to build a team one step after another. First, get your business straight, set up the processes, uh, define where you want to be, and once you're then and build up some financial backup. Yeah, you need that. And once you're there, of course, hiring people. And I will get to that later in my personal coaching program as well. How to hire people and how to grow bigger teams. But just be careful not to hire too soon. Another one, underestimating capital requirements means your business will need to have cash. You need to have to put cash in. And already founding a business, depending on where you are, is going to cost you quite a lot. And you need to prepay taxes in most countries. Prepay, not after you earn. Before you earn something, you start paying tax, at least in some countries. So you need to have some capital. If it's your own capital, cash out of your own pocket, or external capital from partners or investors, doesn't matter. You have to have it. That's why it's so important. Step number two, to have a business plan, right? Project, a cost plan about revenue, fixed and variable costs, also what EBIT you want to achieve. Launching too quickly can also be a mistake. Launching too quickly with regards to your product or service, in that case, can be a common mistake. You need to have the right timing, right? You cannot go out there and launch a service or a product or basically your business without having done anything. You can just say, I have something, I'm public, and you don't even have a website, contact form, a business plan. There's nothing behind that. You're going to lose credibility. That's for sure. Expanding too quickly is another one of those common mistakes. Your business might not be in that state that you can actually expand. Again, it's a little bit similar to hiring too soon. Take it step by step. Set your milestones, obviously, for the first couple of weeks, months, and years, and take it slowly. Try to really focus on quality of your product, of your delivery, build up solid business processes, try to digitize, automize them. That frees up time on your side. And once all that, core business is working, then you can think of scaling, of hiring. Very common mistake, and a lot of businesses actually fail here, is not implementing a proper bookkeeping system or process. What do I mean with bookkeeping system or process? There's basically two two options you have. Either you do your own bookkeeping, so build up the internal knowledge and bookkeep yourself, your expenses, your revenues, your income statements, for your profit and loss, for your balance, so everything that also goes for the taxation. Or you externalize it, go to an external partner. He does the bookkeeping and tax report. But on the whole, you have to have that process set up. And the process is not just saying, I'll give it away. Again, you're the business owner, you're the entrepreneur, you have the responsibility of that process. If you have an external partner, set up a process with him or her. Have some credibility or accountability in that process as well. Be aware that you are generating revenue and especially costs. And you have to have a positive cash flow. All these kind of things are very important running a business, because I assume it's not a charity business, so you will be evaluated by the money you're making, and I hope the revenue is higher than the cost side here. Not creating a marketing plan, also content plan in these days of social media. Marketing is very crucial for a company. Not only for bigger companies, it starts already with small companies, also just being founded. Marketing these days is heavily linked to social media, so you have to have at least a slight content plan. Is why marketing is so important. Is it sets up your sales business. It generates attention on the market. It generates attention to the people or the corporations, or to the target audience you actually want to reach. Um, by talking right now with you guys, I'm reaching out to people I want to get attention from. Right? It's nothing bad. It's something that you need to do. It's a marketing plan, a content plan. It sets up sales for your business. Again, you want to run a business, and you need at least you need customers, you need clients who pay for your product or service. Otherwise, your business will not work. When it comes to mistakes, hiring the wrong people, again, similar to hiring too early, but hiring wrong people can literally be a killer for your business. Why I'm saying that is I've been there many times. I've even been to the court in different kind of countries when it comes to hiring wrong people. And let me tell you, it's not a pleasure. It's not. It's no fun at all to fight with people you were very close with. You thought you can rely on, or vice versa, right? Independently of who's right or wrong. Hiring the wrong people can have massive consequences on all sides. You as an interpreter, you might invest a lot of time and money in that person. In the end, that person will not fit to your business. Um, what can you do about that? Obviously, it's a very difficult point, but I'm teaching about that, how to hire the right people, how to find, how to identify the right right people to your business. I'm going to teach about and speak about that in a different video. But here, one of the common mistakes is hiring the wrong people is definitely one of the top ones for me myself. And last but not least, but for that video, it will be the last point. Underestimating the needs of a business. And that should not shock you. It should. I want to encourage you starting a business. Obviously, it's a great ride, but be aware that running a business has a lot of demands. And these demands mean that you're basically responsible, or you're actually responsible for the whole business. It's demands. You're accountable. You're the business owner, the managing director. You're an entrepreneur. So you get used to that feeling. It's very important to be aware of that fact. Shouldn't be demotivation. Should actually be motivation to have a complete free of freedom of doing whatever you want, also in your business, but you have to take accountability for it. Business is not, as I said, it's not a charity business. There will be rules, there will be competition, the market is cruel, you have to be aware of that, but if you have a desire, you're gonna make it, and I'm happy if I can help you with that. So today we spoke about the common mistakes starting a business. I hope you really enjoyed that video. These experiences I gathered from my own past, so ran through the same mistakes basically, observed them from business partners, friends, colleagues, other entrepreneurs. So I summarized from my perspective common mistakes, especially I did myself. I really don't want that you guys, when you start and found a business, to do the same mistakes again. That's why I want to share that knowledge, share that experience, and I really hope it helps you. If you like my video, please hit the subscribe button. Obviously this is a new YouTube channel, so I'm very happy about every like and subscription I'm getting. There's going to be a lot of content around business and also the positive mindset of being an entrepreneur. I'm gonna create a lot of content about that. You can also follow me on social media. I'm very active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. There's going to be a subscribe button here, as well as a social media follow button. I'm happy that you watched my video. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, just drop me a DM, leave a comment, or send me a mail, and I'm happy to answer any questions. You can also book a free consultation call if you want. So great. See you in the next video. Thank you, and stay tuned.